Today we have marketing in culture. It's a very vast forum, big topic field, thank you. But the thing is that when we talk about marketing, we usually, a lot of times, we make an equation with advertising. But marketing is a lot more. Marketing is very... it's basically advertising is just one part of it, it's promoting, but marketing, first of all, it goes on to branding, which we will talk about later. And in economy, these are basically the activities that comprise the activities that are named under the name of marketing. So we have price. We, of course, maybe from one aspect, the more cost-friendly, the low price you can offer, the more you will attract people. But on the other way, with setting a price, you also send a message. Are we like a lower class good? Are we like exquisite, only high class product or service or something like that? So already by putting a value on your product or service, you tell a lot about it. So we were talking about free tickets or sold tickets, of how you in a way devaluate your festival, your event, if you have a free entrance. So maybe sometimes it's better to put a symbolic price on it, just to make it valuable, or make reservations on tickets, or maybe just if you decide to have free events, you have to balance that and make sure that you don't send the wrong message with it. You have to send a message why you're letting free entrance. Okay, because we want to enable a lot of people to come, because you have to define who you're targeting and why offer everything.
Or maybe promote it more. Like
yeah. It's not taken for granted. It's not, we know that nobody will pay for tickets to come to our, but you have to let people know that yes, there's a great value to our event, but this is part of our strategy because we want to present to people this topic. We want to make it like general knowledge for people. We have to send a message with the message free entry.
No borders on our doors.
Something like that. Write it down. Then it's quality, of course. With every brand product, we kind of subconsciously know, okay, this brand means quality. This is just like too much money to pay the label. But with our customers, they quality of the experience of the product or the service they get is also part of our marketing. When people experience once, like it's a good festival, it's relevant, it's even if the authors of the works presented are unknown, the people who choose the program for us do a good job. If you go to a festival and you see a movie from the author you have never heard before, you know that still means that you will see a quality film, because we do the selection, we can trust you, it's part of our brand, we are professionals, you can trust us. But that's very important. When you gain like the quality mark, you have to make sure that you maintain it, because once you fail if you continue, or maybe once if you fail the expectations of the audiences, it's very hard to get it back. So you have to maintain the quality that you're offering. You can say, okay, we're not the best program we can offer. We offer what's within the limits of our budget, but even if it's low-cost films, we won't sell you bullshit. So you have to be honest about your quality and make an argument for, okay, maybe it's not top quality, but we choose this level because of this reason. We have to have the answers. Then it's demand. In creating demand, you can also do it with marketing. You create a need of people. We know that that's basically the mechanism on which marketing works on. It's like, do we really need a new mobile phone every half a year or a year? But no, but the marketing is the one that creates the demand that, yeah, let's buy new appliances and stuff like that. Okay, brand, it's, we all know basically what a brand is, but it's so much more than logo. You know, it's not just, okay, phone of fur, but it's everything behind it. It's the experience, the meanings that it has, the people, the structure. So it's a lot of levels, as we will see later, that you have to work on, and most important thing is to send the unique message with all of the activities related to the brand, so that you have a clear message. Either it's how people feel when they come to your festival. If you have very, I don't know, arty, creative, free design of your promotional materials, make sure that people feel the same way when they come to your festival. So you have to make, you know, send, if they expect something from the advertising, from logos, from your visual image, make sure that the experience they have when they come to the events is, you know, the same. It's to be up to the expectations that you build in front of them. Then it's public image. It's very near to the brand, but the public image is basically not just towards your audiences, but also towards your suppliers of services. For example, of people, what's your public image in relation to the city management, to the ministry, who gives you money, to the sponsors? They are probably not as interested in your brand, but in your professionalism, in what you contribute to the community. So you have to also be very maybe focused not just on the audiences, but also on the image that you communicate to other target groups. Maybe media, if you are you get better media coverage when you have an image of a responsible, important, professional organization who is who is contributing an important cause to the society. So not just like, okay, it's just some people that decided to have a festival. Okay, let them have a festival. So it's really important to see this public image. There's a lot of authors describe the whole marketing system in so-called 4P theory. There are also some that added 3 more, but there, if you ask me, we will not go into that. So this is basically what the 4 levels or 4 fields, I don't know how to call them really, of marketing. Sorry?
Aspects.
Yeah, thank you, of the marketing mix are. So we work with product first. Let me just remind you that still this is like a general overview. I try to put it also on the cultural marketing, but of course product here in our case, it's usually service. We usually don't produce anything, but also with service, with the contents that we offer, we define who our target group is, how we're gonna promote it, how are we gonna present it to the public. So first are the decisions about what is it that we are offering to people, how to pack it up, how we promote it, how we, who are we targeting. So already the things that we basically talked about the first meeting that we had. So price, as I said before, it's not just the ticket that you pay to when you come to the box office. It's also the location. Do I need change 3 buses to come to because it's out? So the next aspect is the place. So the location of exchange, as I said, okay, where do we have our events, but also the image. what I said, if you are promoting that we're like an open arty festival, then you have to make sure that when people come to the location, they get the same message from the location, from the venue you choose. And also, when we are talking more in terms of like companies, when you come to the to the store, you know exactly, are you in like a lower society shop, are you in a steam shop that you can't touch anything because it's too expensive if you break it. So it's also through the location that you can communicate a lot. The methods that marketing is most often using is of course advertising. Then we have promotional sales, personal sales, which means coming door to door selling, or maybe also calling on the phone selling. And then events and personal experiences. For example, we saw an example of personal experience. It was certain people getting free tickets for championship, which means that for life they will have a personal experience that will be linked to the brand, and I think the guy will be drinking Heineken to the rest of his life, if you ask me. So it's basically also here in Slovenia, maybe it's an experience of trying out a product for free, of, I don't know, different samples, different experiences. You could, I don't know, Simobil, for example, organizes concerts, and young people experience it. Simobil gave us a great experience. It was a great party, we had fun, great music, and it's an experience related to the brand, for example. Then it's appearance in the media, which is like you open a new, for cultural events it's easier. For companies, for example, it's like when they open a new store, there's a big crowds coming up and media is reporting
VIP people
and stuff like that, yeah. So one of the ways to appear in media for companies, which is very important for us, is through sponsorships. That is unpaid advertising. If you are a sponsor of the award of the festival, of course your name will come up. Your logo will be part of the festival advertising. Sometimes you see that, for example, also events sometimes, but more if we look into the sports, like teams have names of companies that sponsor them. That's also a very important, subtle way for companies to come to media, to their name to come up in different contexts, where people are not really prepared to block out advertising because it's not, adverts in the program. They hear the name like in the middle, the team name Cimos, I don't know, is leading for 15 points. Oh yeah, great, but people don't really recognize that they are being advertised. Okay?
But is it acceptable in the cultural sphere that events are named or have a name of the sponsors or in the title or so?
Yeah, I always keep forgetting. But there once, there was I think it was theater festival in Steyerska somewhere that had also combined the name of some local company that was sponsoring the event. So if you do it smartly, of course. I mean, for example, we had MasterCard Public Award. We had Nelegovita Award.
It was called like this, MasterCard.
Yeah, this was, and when we had a press conference, I said specifically to the media, I said, this is the name of the award. It's not public award, it's MasterCard Audience Award. So please use the entire name, because this is part of the deal with our sponsors, and you cannot just censor part of the name out. They were a bit shocked, but yeah, I mean, we specifically told them, this is the name of the award, we use the whole name, please don't censor it. So it was, in the end, really good, because the turnout in the newspapers, of course, everywhere where the award was mentioned, it was also the sponsor. So you can do it.
No, of course, you can have also sponsors, and every sponsors have his, you say gold sponsor, and silver sponsor and.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
we,
in sports sphere, it's much more common to have a sponsor. In cultural sphere, we all have this feeling that
yeah, but I
something
think
wrong.
that's part of our prejudice.
Yeah,
We
that's
have to
what I'm
we
saying.
have to make a switch in our minds because if you do it properly, if you don't just put the brand on it, but if you make a meaning out of it, you can do it. You asked me the last time about the categories of the sponsorship. In culture, usually what we have is like a general sponsor, and then we have like media sponsors, official, prevoznik,
Yeah, official transporter.
transporter.
Transport.
Like we all know that you maybe use services from other, but this is, we use also taxi company,
Yes.
but our official transporter is Renault because they give us 3 cars, they pay us the gas we use during the festival, and that's why they're highlighted. So usually in Slovenia, in culture, we don't, maybe Festival Ljubljana or something, like big classical events, they have like a lot of sponsors and they have to line them up, and they maybe use like golden, silver, but mainly we go like media, like main media sponsor, main transporter, or maybe for us in my case at Animatica we had 3 sponsors that were really with us from the beginning. Every year there was the hotel, there was FedEx for film shipping, and there was MasterCard. So these were our highlighted sponsors, they were everywhere. For the rest of them it was okay, you go on the poster, sorry, you don't. So you are the main transporter, you are the main media, media sponsor, newspaper sponsor, online sponsor, you more define it through the function they give to the festival, not level it up so much. Okay, so the direct marketing is via telephone, mail, email, so it's like really targeted public, usually as a result of sweepstakes that you get databases or research, you target very specifically on the people that you maybe have already used your service or something like that. Also through Facebook, it's really, people that follow you that want to get information about your events and stuff like that. Then it's public relations. It's not just talking to the media, it's not advertising, but it's basically representing who you are in public. Talking with also sometimes with sponsors. That's for next time. But sometimes the people who have to go to meet sponsors is not just the person responsible for money or for marketing, but also the person responsible for public relation, because they know, okay, yes, we can promise you, because I know the editor and we have this deal, we are talking about the content that we will put, so yes, we can promise to give you an interview with your CEO in the magazine about how he sees culture, film, migration and stuff like that. So maybe sometimes it's good also to include this public relation in other functions. It's a very wide function, not just being a service to newspapers, which unfortunately a lot of journalists expect that PR person at the festival is my secretary, and whatever I want, I have to get it in the next 5 minutes. That's reality. And then different benefits for the customer. Like we spoke before, usually you can do it on your own or maybe with help of a sponsor or a partner. You offer different benefits like 2 tickets for the price of 1, or maybe if you buy a ticket you get a free coffee in the near coffee shop or something like that. So that's also part of the message of the experience and of advertising. Okay. So we were now a bit mixing like companies and cultural events, and this is basically the reason why it's a bit different. You can't just use marketing theory and put it in culture. It's because with companies, actually the people who you are selling your product to are the same people that enable you to work, that give you money back. In In culture, we have a circle. We get money, the majority of the money we get from public sponsors, from companies, only a smaller part from our audiences. So we have to communicate in two completely different cases. Of course, they are connected, but it's more complex in terms of who are we marketing to. It's not just the buyer. As I said before, you have to be also sending out a message. We are, professionals that won't just throw your money away. We help to the society. We are contributing to an important cause. So we can actually do the like two circles. Who are we marketing to? So in first circle, we have our audiences. We have the artists, which are also very important. We have our own employees and volunteers. A lot of times we forget it. We also have to send a message to people that work in our companies. And then we have already on the board of companies, similar organizations who are also part of our festival, part of our audiences. In a way, we work with them. We are working together for the same cause, but on the other way, we have to market also to them. Then we have local community, general public, and the state. Maybe you say, why do we have to even bother about the state? It's so far away. But we will see later, maybe it's not that far away, and sometimes sending out the right message can contribute to, I don't know, changing the legislation a bit in the long term. Yeah, we have the organization that is working in that field. They're really professionals. They are helping with the cause. They inform people. We have to keep that in mind where we are changing this legislation or something. Okay, so this again, like we can put them in three different segments. So one is like the inner, which are audiences and general public, consumers that are people that get our service. Yeah. Then we have financiers. Those are the ones that we have to usually persuade with like economical reasons, especially private ones. Public more with how are we helping or to contribute to the society, to people. On the private level, of course, the company is interested in what am I getting in return. So you have to basically, while companies just speak one language, you have to speak different languages with different target groups. So it's a really complex situation, and we usually don't have even time to prepare strategies for everyone around us. Then it's employees and volunteers. It's good that everybody that is part of our organization knows this is the cause that I'm doing it for, this is what I get in return. Later we will go through that. Artists, similar organization, and again, local community and state. So, okay, we have this all written down. The blue ones are what you are getting from the group, and the green is what you give to the group. So, first we have employees and volunteers. What is the image that we want to send? For this, we will see that it's not that we can just make one image and communicate it out uniquely. Like we are a young, professional festival of migrant film. We want to, you have to stress out the different dimensions of your contents and communicate differently to the different target groups. I don't think we have to read through them, maybe because you have only one. Okay, so maybe it's, these are also the methods that I think are like the best to use when working with these groups. For example, with working with your employees and volunteers, what I think is most important is information flow. If people in the organization know exactly what is the purpose, what are the contents that you are preparing, why some decisions are being made, it's easier to identify, and at the same time they give you an extent of your marketing mechanism, because they can also send the same clear message about your organization that you are putting out on a different level. So it's really important not to forget about this first group that maybe it's most easy my opinion. Then for the artists, of course, you want to, it's like not give them the feeling that not that they are giving you a favor, okay, I'll help you, I'll send you film to a festival, but you have to have a message, okay, it's a privilege for me that my film will be screened at this event. Maybe it's not 50,000 people coming to the festival, but it's a very specific audiences that it's important that see my film. Of course, that's what you want to. Maybe also you want to let, not as much for maybe your festival, but sometimes when you're like producing new works for the festival, you want to know the artists to know that they have professional support, that you, maybe for side events at your festival, when you create like site-specific things or stuff, it's important that the artist knows that they will get support, proper promotion, that you will help them to grow, to achieve something. Not that they, okay, let's do this because they need me and I'll help them. They have to know that they're getting something in return. As I said before, maybe in the audiences it's very important to build up trust and like fair attitude. You know, you have to tell them, okay, as I said, we are not giving you 15 world's most renowned films, but we are giving you, okay, maybe big-class films, but they are still quality. We're not selling you bullshit. So be fair to the audiences, because maybe once they will come, but the next time if they see that you're selling something that you're not, they might not return again to you.
Yeah, I think that this year we've done a good job here because people came back.
So build on it. You know, you have their trust, don't let them down. Or if you can't live up to the level that you had, be honest and, you know, tell them why. Make that part of your marketing, make a story about it. Okay, so public financiers, I think you have to, you know, first of all, of course, you want to send out a message of quality. You want to, like, maybe if we are not big and we're like not public good in the sense that everybody benefits from it, we are targeting a very specific group, very specific need that is not targeted by other organizers, so you have to, we are an important asset for you, we are an important player, even if we are a small one, because we are so specific and we are addressing very specific needs of the audiences. Because for the public finances, of course, they are financing public good. They will not finance entertainment for like a small group of people, but they will finance like something very specific, something very small, if you have good arguments of why these are important. So the other groups that we mentioned were similar organizations. Of course, partnership is one of them, but also cooperation, resources. But I think the thing that maybe we forget sometimes is if together we are a stronger negotiator. Maybe if we partner up with two similar festivals, we get a media sponsorship easier because we have more content to offer. We have like a longer period throughout which we can offer content to this media. So maybe sometimes building a partnership with like an agenda, further step is also very useful. But to be able to do this, we have to also send a message, you know, to other organizations that they recognize us as an important partner, as a player, or someone that teaming up with would be useful also for them. Then it's a local community, of course, financial support, use of infrastructure, public spaces and stuff like that. But again, with communicating to local community, you build up an image that, you know, when you send out a call for volunteers, or maybe you're looking for a new employee, you are an organization with which people want to work with. It's a privilege to come to help you, and they will do it for free, because, you know, you have a brand, you have an image that is really valuable. And then general public, of course, if you have a lot of public, even if not coming to your festival. General public is not just the audiences. It is people that know that your festival exists. It is people that read a small article or an announcement in the newspaper. But these numbers and these people who know that you exist and see a title, Festival of Migrant Film, and will read an article, these are the people that you can sell to your sponsor. Because you can say, yes, maybe we have small audiences, but a lot of people follow us online. Our numbers of visiting our online, I don't know, daily reports is this and this. So the general public knows that we exist, and the sponsors say, okay, they are followed by a large amount of number, we have big support, and also to the public financiers again. Okay, maybe they only, I don't know, 1,500 people come to really see the movies, but they're followed by a larger amount of people, and it's like they have an image that people believe in, they follow it, so you can use it in negotiations also with other audiences. And then again with the state, as I said, maybe, okay, first is state understanding as a Ministry of Culture. It's good if when we get the application, it's not the first time we hear about you. But on the other hand, it's also maybe when they are changing legislation and you interfere because you know that your interests are in somewhere in the middle. If they already know about you and they know that you are contributing to an important cause, they will be willing to listen to you. So it's important that you find some energy in some way also for the audiences and groups that are quite far from your organization, to at least let them know who you are, that you exist, and like one basic message of what is your content, your purpose, or something like that. Okay. Then there's this fun question of balancing all these groups, which sometimes can be quite a creative process. We have, like, for example, I think these are the most common. Sponsors, of course, want to have their logos everywhere. Artists will say, I don't want to see any logo in the hall, for example. Then you don't want to sell audiences to your sponsor, and like when they go to the hall, give them 15 different leaflets for the products of companies that sponsor you. We said before, yes, it can be done, but do it with a feeling, do it with maybe like sense of humor or something like that, and people will feel not attacked but addressed smartly and entertained maybe even by the campaign that you organize with your sponsors. Then artists and audiences. Yeah, sometimes artists want to, I don't know, try new form, different approach, something new and test it on the audiences. But on the other hand, you have the audiences who trust you, who want to get the quality from your program, and it's maybe not fair to just say to the artist, yeah, use them for your experiment, make them feel uncomfortable, make them suffer through something that is like not a finished product or something like that. So you have to have in mind also this relation. So this is like one example, the Lightning Gorilla, 2 years ago I think, yeah, in 2011. Yeah, to 11, we had this installation in public space at Krizate. There were cars and there was a computer program, and these cars were lighting up in the rhythm of sound that was happening in the surroundings. So when there was a lot of people and a lot of noise, the cars would light up in a faster rhythm or maybe slowly and stuff like that. And we had to get sponsor cars, and the city of Ljubljana said you can use the square if there's absolutely no logo of any kind of sponsors. And the
Wow.
car companies, that it was interesting that was like the request.
I'm really shocked.
Yeah. And of course the car company said, yeah, we can lend you the money, but we will put like stickers on the side and on the top, and maybe even some transparent. Of of course, it's a good, like a price or something, this is our new model, la la la. So it took quite some negotiating and explaining why they can't do all that. In the end, all they had was this logo on the plates, and that was it, and it's not very compliant, but yeah, it was trying to, because in the city they were, we said what we said, but then in the end we agreed that, okay, you can have this sign.
Why does it feel so against?
I don't know, I think it was because this is next to Križanke, the festival in Ljubljana, and they knew that there was car, and I think they just didn't want to have like a saloon, I don't know, car shop advertising in front of Križanke or something like that.
Actually, it's better.
Yeah, for us it worked as well. I mean, it worked in our benefit, but explaining to a sponsor, yeah, of course, because there were also, the sponsor wanted to do the same thing, like 3 weeks later at the opening of their new saloon. But we said, okay, yeah, we can do it, but if you will pay for, artists to come back to Ljubljana to make a new program, to design everything, because we had to put stickers on the windows, and the stickers alone were about 2,000 euros. So for us, making a reprise in 3 weeks, it was impossible. So when we said, okay, we can organize, but this is what it will cost you. But then in the end, we agreed that just their photographer came and did the shooting. But again, it was a problem with the authors who didn't want someone to come and photograph their installation for the promotion in the new car saloon. So it was a lot of back and forth, mailing and trying to just balance all these different interests. So sometimes you have to be really careful and think, will the other shareholders be okay with what we're doing?
So just to be clear, this was just it's okay. This was just an installation itself. It wasn't a promotion for something
No,
other.
it was part of the installation of the festival because it's Lightning Gorilla. I don't know if you know the festival. I think the topic was sound and light that year.
Yeah.
So it was recording the rhythm of the city, different installations in the city, and one of them was these cars because they could be like completely dark in one moment, and then a group of young people returning from a party would laugh at the square, and they would light up and make
It was really nice.
How about the people who live there now?
I think they are used to worse thing because it's near Križanke. I mean, at the square in front of Križanke, if you know where that is. But there's an open air concert venue there, so there's a lot of concert going on, a lot of traffic, and it's like this is one side, the other side is gallery and some shops, some people living in the upper floors, and there's a museum on one side, so it's really not in the very populated area. So the brand, again, it's not just like, okay, these are the letters that we're going to use, this is the background, and we have a brand of our company. No, this is just first step, one step. All that we've been talking about, advertising, experiences of the buyer, the meaning, the experience they get of the festival, that all builds up what brand stands for. But in the end, there's a statistic that also for Slovenia that we are each day faced with about 1,000 adverts every day. Subconsciously, when you drive on a bus, you pass through them. And brands help us to lock out and get images and recognize. It simplifies our world as buyers. Yeah. So it's really important to be very unanimous, straightforward with all these different channels on what your brand will stand for. This is actually something I put up because Ivan was asking the last time. how to, build up a visual image of your festival. Okay, so I think the name is the first. Sometimes even the name or the way it is written, not even a logo, is a message, something catchy. You get a very meaningful name that tells a lot about your organization. So sometimes even that already can be a part of your visual element of marketing. Just reading the name tells a lot. And it's logo, web page, file, Facebook profile, and all the material that you produce visually, online or in paper or graffiti on the walls or something like that. So if we want to be recognized by the audiences, there's 4 basic rules to follow. First one is consistency. Of course, if we want to change a logo, we have to make a campaign about it. We have to make people know that, okay, we are changing, make something out of it. And also, when we have different editions of the festivals, of course, it will change. But we have to keep some kind of red line. The way that things are put up on your materials, like the structure of the catalog, structures of the catalog or something like that. It's different colors, but the layout may stay the same, so that your visitors are not confused each year. Okay, where's the schedule? Where's, you have to be consistent about it. Avoid similarity. It's always good, when you choose a name, put it in Google. Today it's really simple. When you have to, when you have an image, try to compare it and make sure that it's not easily mistaken with some other organization or event, unless you want to make it a strategy. There are I forgot to search for the pictures. For example, we have, Poli salami. There was in Poland, they made a loli salami. It was very similar design, one that it changed. It's a connotation. Do the package, sometimes for the products, they make similar packaging to the big brands and try to, get the attention of the buyers. So maybe, you just grab it on the shelf and not... okay, so again, back we are with the target groups. I think this is the 3rd time that we are talking about them, so let's be really short about it. We already spoke about it when we were defining our festival. We spoke about it when we were talking about fundraising and sponsorships. And here again, but we want to know more about our audiences from the different perspective. Okay, we know they're young, but now, young people coming from city, urban environment and stuff like that. But now we want to know mainly about what are their habits, hobbies, interests, where they work, what's their social background. So we want to know we want to know all about this to answer to one simple question, which is how do our audiences get information about cultural services and cultural events that they visit? Through which channels? Do they open their an online announcement page and check, okay, I want to go out today and found it? Do they just check the flyers in their favorite bar? Do they see posters at the university? So it's very important for us to know all these answers, because only in this way we can use the money that we have for promotion in the most efficient way. If we have 2,000 euros that we can spend on promotion, we don't want to have one billboard that no one coming to our festival in the end really will notice. Okay, let's make flyers, or let's pay, to the university to put posters on it, or, so it's really important that we know as much as we can about the habits. This is what we were talking about. We saw, okay, we know this brand, we don't know this brand. If we have a feeling that our audiences don't care about brands, they don't have their favorite brand, and, buying milk, then it's probably not very useful for us to team up with a milk company and make a joint marketing campaign. Because people that come to our festival probably won't buy their milk anyway, so they won't get information through that.
Yes, for example, if we would promote yachts, perhaps that would be really stupid.
Yeah. So, yeah, these are like basically, I think, okay, we want to know the age, the geography, the social and cultural background, but I think that mostly we want to know how they spend their free time, where they spend it, you know, their habits as consumers, and then we can target most efficiently. Do they notice, I mean, do they go to bars? Of course, then it's good for us to rent a Finio Glassi, for example, because we know that people coming to the bars, and with them you can arrange, okay, we want to have posters of our festival in the toilets, but we want to have them in the bars that are visited by like students, young people, not in Cankretum, for example, or like some other institutions where people going there probably, you know, or museums or something like that won't visit. So if we know all these things, then we can better decide on how to spend the money, because we never have enough money and we always have to make decisions. Okay, we have posters, but can we really afford to pay billboards to put them on? No. Okay, so we have volunteers, we can sit down, we know, okay, people coming to our festival go to this bar, this bar, this bar, this bar, and you go there and you say, hello, can we please put a poster? That's more effective promotional strategy than putting it in like public spaces, you know. So I think it's good to do really practical. But I think this we will have in mind just a few minutes from now, when we will talk about like the practical part. We'll try to define best ways to promote, but I'll tell you about it. So let me just finish this. Okay, so just a quick overview. I don't think that these are really novelties for you, so I will just like go through it quickly, just maybe to freshen up a bit. You probably know all of these things. So, most common communication channels: internet, posters, flyers, media, different forms. You can either rent advertising space, or you can maybe arrange with editors, like with your media sponsors, to cover your event through interviews, through critiques of the films that you screen and stuff like that. So you can use media in different ways. Then low budgets, I would say stickers, badges, then selling promotional materials. This can be on one hand really also profit for you if you have a good artist that will design nice things that people want to buy and wear, but the downside of it is that of course you will have to pay to produce the materials first. So can you really afford it? Can you take a risk of not selling the goods in the end? So it's a very strategic call. Okay, so it's just like a quick overview, and these are like more free guerrilla ways of advertising. There's graffiti, but with it you always have to be first, okay, we suppose that you already know the person that will do it for free or something, or for a very low budget. I mean, usually graffitiers that are connected to the content will help you for free, but yeah, you have to be really careful about where you put them and even not to get fined. I have an example that there was a really nice campaign in the city of Kran this year, a festival Mitida Mladih, a week of young people. They made footsteps all over the city, like leading to the venues. And the problem was that they put this footstep with a non-washable color on the newly pavement city, I mean, they just finished the renovation of the city, main
I know.
city. Yeah, okay.
Square.
Yeah, and the color was unwashable. So they got, I think in the end it costed them about 20,000 euros because they got fined and they had to pay for the professional cleaning of that. So with this Guerrilla, you have to be really, really careful. It was a really nice, oh, that's the footsteps, they put colors for concrete and made them. But in the end, it was, I think, the most expensive promotional campaign in the history of festivals. So you have to.
Just a practical question. For example, if instead of painting they would use stickers, you know, would they still get fined for it?
No, because you can remove it.
Yeah.
I mean, we did one year. We linked Kinoteca and Kinodvor with stars because we had stars on the poster. So we did stars from one menu because people were like mixing them up using. But we used colors that was washed away in 2 weeks. You know. So there was absolutely.
And you don't need official permission for this kind of intervention.
So it's okay, but make sure that it disappears or you can remove it.
And make sure you're doing it on public spaces. If it's private,
Yeah.
it's not allowed to do it.
Then we already talked about crossover marketing. Maybe you can use sponsor to put flyers in the regular mailing to people, to put a sticker on their product or something like that. So that's one of the media we already said. If it's editorial, then it's for free because they want content. If you can offer an interesting interview with an author who's coming to a festival or something like that, that's free advertising for you. Okay, you have some work, of course, with organizing, but they will get content, you get promotions. So it's really cool. And of course, internet, most of it, if it's not something you buy, to put banners somewhere, or like on Google AdWords or Facebook advertising. If you create your own page, if you put information about the event on forums or pages, it's for free. So it's just that you have to be creative to somehow stand out of the mess of the messages that people get. It's for example footsteps, also with graffiti, or maybe now you can't put leaflets behind windshields of the cars without paying penalty if they get you. So, okay, you are putting them in the student campus and knowing that they're coming out in next 2 hours, and maybe you take a risk because nobody of their students, they won't like report you. Are we willing to, take a risk? So, this is maybe returning back to the starting, like how to make a campaign that will stick with people. Now we have phrases that, I don't know, for example, lačan si ful drugačen, it became a phrase in urban, I mean people use it, but it comes out of the advertisement for chocolate. Or, I mean,
This one
how,
is really good.
yeah, like trying, I think the point of advertising, of marketing, is how to become part of the culture. Have a slogan, have an image that people will use as a reference.
For example, Kampo Pridemo brez domišljije. It's still, I mean,
Yeah.
it's 15 years since
And
this
it's still
advertising
used.
went out, but it still sticks and people still use it.
Yeah, so...
Škoda,
I think-
sempre treba.
Or Trsecini and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It becomes, part of the language, part of the culture. So if we come up with something like that, we are like winners, So of course we have to think also in terms of where to start and when, to start advertising. Half a year before, a month before, 2 weeks. Like first information, how often, how much information. Of course, we can't offer a detailed program half a year before the festival, but we can make like a nice campaign, like Nea said, for the Valentine's Day, up just to highlight the dates and bring people's attention to it. And then during the festival? Is it okay if we send a new message for each festival event? Is it too much? People will stop reading emails if they get 5 emails from us every day. So is it every 2 days, every 3 days? Do we like send one program at the beginning and then every day just one highlight that we know that will have a low audiences and we want more people to come to it? Is it that our strategy, or is it to highlight like the most attractive and visible events? So this is also like the timing of, and it's good to think this through before the festival and maybe already prepare the materials and then just send them out, give them out. Because if we're then preparing, then we have delays, something goes wrong, the designer is too late or something, and it can go bad. So, okay, yeah, that's it. And then also we just one more topic, because we were talking about, you said that you want to also talk about like how to connect with other organizations, like with partners of the festival, and maybe how to, use that to increase your value, to add events, to get more spaces, to get more promotions. So I think that the basic thing to talk about this is like the goals for on the outside towards the audiences that we can get from partnerships, and maybe also think about it and what we can offer to the people that we want to connect to. And on the other hand, what are the benefits for our organizations? So first of all, of course, if you strategically connect with other organizations, if that are like older organizations, larger organizations, of course you gain in brand value and recognition, but also if you make a network of smaller organizations, you will be more visible, you will have wider audiences. Like a consortium is a stronger, more stable organization that will send out a different message. Okay, they really organize themselves, they make like something together. You will send out a different message than when you're on your own. So, content definition. Of course, you have your own mission statement, you have your own like main film program, but also with side events, maybe the partners can help you define, okay, we want to go in this direction, so we're doing it with this partner. We want to cover this part of activities because we are in partnership with, I don't know, Kino Šiška. You also send like a definition of your festival throughout the organizations that you team up with. A value transfer, of course, we said before. Different locations give you different meanings. Of course, in some cases you can't really choose, okay, these are the locations that are available to us, let's make out of it what we can. But if you strategically choose partnerships, you can also, through this channel, give value and importance and underline your festival. What are your internal strategic goals? Why would you partner with different organizations? Okay, first you have 1 year you have partnership, you just rent a venue. The second year they say, okay, we will include you in our promotion. So it's like building up, that in the end maybe you sit down and you say, okay, this is the common interests of our audience and your audience. What is the new event that we can offer like next year? What is the content that we can build up? But first, they have to, like, on small scale, know that you are reliable, you are professional, you are delivering your promises, and of course also build up an image together that people recognize the partnership, and that somehow when you offer more, it's natural for your and their audiences. Of course, they've been working together in the past, so now we can build up on something new. exchange of contents, not just for the festival, but also as an announcement of maybe you can offer a short film for a long film that is played at Kino Dvor. It's a partnership during the year, it's building up, it's again bringing attention. Your audiences may know, okay, you may see the winning film of our last edition as a pre-film of in Kino Dvor, and on the other side their audiences who come specifically for their feature film say, oh, okay, this is a very interesting short film, it was shown on the festival, okay, I have to keep that in mind, you know, like to build it strategically. So, and in this way, like, connecting throughout the year, maybe through small actions, but they're like getting like bigger, more intertwined, build up together, you can make like on the promotional and the marketing level a lot for your festival, because people will not just hear, you know, there's a limited amount of time and money that you have to promote the festival. And through partnerships and like the small actions that are really like of no cost or very low cost for you, you can, you know, you can make sure that your brand of the festival is popping up every now and then. You know? Maybe the first time people won't even remember, but the second time, weren't they showing something about this festival like the last time that we were in the cinema? Or, oh, I saw something.
Or something mentioned from before, and the other says, I've heard about that somewhere.
Yeah. So, like, with these small strategical partnerships, to start making a buzzword out of your festival, like making, you know, people talk about it. Not necessarily like in details, and but to recognize the brand. That's the first step that maybe you can do through partnerships.